stories that define hip-hop culture. You're now locked in to the Terminator Xperience podcast, where hip-hop history meets the culture right now. Hosted by DJ DVS and Minor, alongside the legendary Terminator X. We're talking classic moments, untold stories, and the voices that shape the game. Straight from the source. No filters, no filler, just real conversations and real hip-hop. Turn it up. This is the Terminator Xperience podcast.
What up, what up, what up?
Peace.
Terminator Xperience podcast, DVS. It's my man Minor. It's the host, Terminator X. We got the legend in the building, the one and only,
Yes,
the
sir.
legendary Grandmaster Dee.
Grandmaster Dee.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
AKA Donkey.
Up
Already.
in Terminator's man cave. Came to get some music.
Yes.
Did you get him? Did you got
Yes.
some music?
Terminator blessed me.
He blessed you. Get you okay.
Yes.
So what was there anything in particular you were looking for? You just wanted to
Southern soul, you know.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Southern Soul was trying to hit the mainstream. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to definitely have that on deck. Southern soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, especially being down south here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Grandmaster Dee and myself, we now in the South. We from New York. Now we in the South.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all in the
Representing the South now in New York.
When I go to New York, I don't know nobody to call because everybody's down here now. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody
Man,
to call.
everybody's down here. Kane, Big Daddy Kane.
Shouts out
here.
Kane.
Sadat,
Mike G.
Dot X, Mike G.
yeah.
Special
Everybody's in the
Ed.
South.
Who else down there?
Uh,
Sadat X.
Yeah, everybody's.
Yeah,
A lot of
everybody.
folks here. Grandmaster Flash is in the South.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he said he should be in Georgia.
Okay.
Who else? Chill Will from Dougie
Yes.
Fresh. He in Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Man, everybody from New York is down
Smooth
here.
out in the South too. CO Smooth. He
CO
enjoyed it.
Smooth, yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's the place to be now in the South.
So,
Yes.
Grandmaster D, let's take it back, man. So you know, what how'd you get into DJing? What made you get in the game DJing?
Oh man, it's a good question. Me coming out of Flatbush, Brooklyn in 1977, you know, my dream was to be an NBA basketball player. I was good on the court.
Gotcha.
And 1977 April, my mother and father told us we was going to move to a place called Roosevelt Island.
Wow.
Not Staten Island, not Long Island, but Roosevelt Island.
Roosevelt.
It's a little island in between Queens and Manhattan.
Right.
And right across the bridge was Dr. Bob Lee, Nas, and Mobb Deep. They all was from across the bridge. Queensbridge was right across the bridge. But my zone of high school I was going to, I was leaving junior high school. And so I graduated, I'm going to school in Manhattan called Julia Richmond.
Right.
And me trying out for the basketball team. Right after that, I get in there, a couple of guys in my class. I'm hearing, the boom box.
Right.
And I'm hearing, yes, y'all. You don't stop. We like our sound, loud and clear. Boom, 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 boom. I said, yo, what is that? And they was like, yo, they call it rap.
I'm sorry. Listen, you ain't got to be all up in the mic.
Okay.
It's not. It ain't that serious.
Okay.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they was.
I mean, you can relax. That's all I'm saying.
They was like, it's rap. It wasn't hip hop at that
Right.
time. So one of the guys, rapper name was Ski Jump.
Wow.
He was a break dancer too. So being in that high school, I ran into Master Don from the Deaf Committee. That was my teacher.
Wow.
He showed me the ropes with the turntables. Then I ran into Ray Vaughn and Johnny Wall. They was two of the best at the time.
Right.
And Master Don used to take me after school to his crib to practice on turntable. He was a little guy.
Right.
He used to stand on the crates and DJing,
Wow.
spinning back. That's when I first saw spinning back. And then after that, I got a chance to see Grandmaster Flash and Theodore and all of them. But that's what grabbed me when I heard that, and he showed me the ropes on the turntables. I took it from there.
Okay, when you say Macedon Funk Box,
Yes.
ooh,
Yeah, him and the Deaf Committee.
Wow.
Pebbly Pool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the era of like the Boogie Boys and the Crash Crew.
Wow.
You couldn't say rap in them days without saying Mike and Dave.
Right.
Mike and Dave production.
Was Was we calling it rap back then? It was more like hip hop. I don't. Was we call?
It was rap.
It was calling it rap then.
It was rap.
Okay.
Yeah, it was rap. Hip hop came later on, but they was calling it rap. But some of the best, you know.
That's right, because the movie was rapping. Never mind.
Yeah,
My
some
bad.
of the best rappers came from out of Harlem. You know, even though the Bronx was bubbling, they had some great rappers out of Harlem. You know, they had like I said, Mastodon and Def Committee, but then you had the Crash Crew, then you had the Boogie Boys.
Right.
So they had a crew out there.
Yeah.
So you remember your first set of turntables in your mixer?
Oh man, the first turntables I got was SL 220s, and that's what Flash was using at that time. And those were belt drive. So if you ruined the belt, you had to get a new belt. So that's when we learned about the slip mat.
Yeah.
And we had to slip. Some people used to put little
Wax.
paper,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
newspaper on there.
Man,
Yeah, yeah.
and I used to do loose leaf anything.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the main thing was, I could imagine back in those days, cartridges. What they charging now for cartridges?
Yeah.
We were paying $10 for Pickerings,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't jump.
Yeah.
It wouldn't jump, and we were using Pickering. And man, Rock and Soul was a lifesaver to me.
Yes, sir.
I loved Rock and Soul.
Shout out Rock and Soul.
I loved the Music Factory. Downstairs Record was my people. Elroy. It was go down to the train station. They had every break beat. If you didn't have a name or they didn't know you good, they wasn't selling you those records. And if they sold you those breaks, it cost a lot of money.
Wow.
You remember the first 2 records you bought when you bought 2 copies?
Foxy, Get Off. Then it was Disco Mat. There was a record store called Disco Mat.
Yep, I
12
remember
inches was $2.99. And we had Get Off, and they had Good Times.
Right.
Everybody had like 4 or 5 Good Times. And then Vaughn Mason, Get Down, come on, Bounce
Down.
Skate.
Charlotte Rock, Rock
Yeah,
and
and you know what throws me off now? A lot of people don't get it, but we got it because when hip hop came, it was disco.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, disco made hip hop
Right.
because you got to look at Tutu, BB. You would cut up remember, I got my mind made up. Come on, girl, you can get it.
Yep.
And the sounds that you hear can be devastating to your ear. And what do we say? Back, what was the saying? Of Chilltown, New York, has determined the sound that you hear can be devastating to your ear.
Yeah.
And remember, Brooklyn's in the house.
Yeah. One of the drops, Keith Shockley, aka Keith Boxley, he used to use "Get on down
And party."
That
was a disco
song.
too.
Yep,
Because
yep,
back then we had Hey Miss Broadway, doom 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 doom. Special Ed used that.
Yep.
And, you know, back then I had
a lot of the
break
break
record.
A lot of the break beats of disco.
Yeah, they would.
We got out.
My favorite, my favorite too was Frisco Disco.
Yep.
Welcome aboard Disco Airlines Flight 17. And Scorpio.
Man, it's all, yes, but the sample, the break beats was a little bit of everything. It's most, I will say, it's definitely mostly disco.
Yeah.
But there's a little jazz, there's a little weird stuff in there. There's some rock, like what's the one that can't and then
Walk This Way.
Walk This Way. That's
Walk
rock.
This Way. And the Eagles. Do-doom.
Yep.
Do-doom.
Fly like an eagle.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of everything, but it's a lot of disco
Yeah, a lot of
in the
that
break beats.
disco. And
Absolutely.
A lot of the discos had breaks.
Yeah.
Like remember at midnight, TK.
Yep. Midnight.
At
Yep.
midnight.
Yep.
And remember, Edward Starr. I was looking at you.
And
Contact.
Yep.
And even Galaxy, Superman, Batman, going all night. War. Remember War?
Wow.
Those got to be real.
Yep.
Got
That's
to be
disco.
real.
That's disco. But see, we had a different black folks. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to separate colors, but we had a different type of disco than white folks. This white folks was like Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Donna Summer. You know, black folks like the
Gloria.
our disco was a little more, you know,
It was hard.
it was more harder. Yeah, it was more
hard,
deep.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of that
Soul.
soul came
Yeah.
from out of Memphis.
Right.
And I remember Rufus Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
Stack Records. And you know, I was going to say this too. But I had so many break beats. I was going to Queensbridge. At that time, Marley Marl was a disco DJ.
Right.
Wow.
He didn't know about the beats.
Wow.
I went to Marley Marl house, and he never said this in the interview. I showed him honey drippers.
Exclusive.
Word.
Exclusive.
I showed him honey drippers. He never heard that.
Impeach
Barshawn, who be with the
impeach the
Furious Five,
president?
I went
Wow.
to his house and played. The next thing you know, he came out with the bridge.
You hearing this
bridge-
live?
He never gonna say that.
Wow.
You hearing it live here from the man himself?
I brought
You just
that
heard
record
it.
to his house.
You just
And
heard
Barshawn, who be with the Furious Five in Sugar Hill, he was my witness because he brought me to Marlon's house. I used to carry a shopping cart with records and go to Queensbridge and
shopping
play.
cart.
I used to rock, man.
That's how bad I wanted to be a part of this.
There you go. So when I started out, I've told the story before. I couldn't drive, and I lived in Roosevelt, which was 1 square mile. And I started out like everybody else, doing house parties, basement parties, that kind of thing. And I put my equipment in the shopping cart. That's what you did,
That's
man.
right.
That's what you
right.
did.
You
That's
did
what
anything to get
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
My mother
That's what
came
you did.
home one day, and I remember I took her speakers out the house. She came home, wanted to turn the music on, and she didn't hear nothing.
Speakers
She
was
said,
gone.
"What the hell?" I was gone.
You done blew up the
She
speaker.
said, "We done moved from Brooklyn to better ourselves over here, and he over there in Queensbridge." But I never forget making a tape too in the room, and the music is loud, and all I heard is boom, 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 boom. Turn that shit down. I don't own this apartment. We gonna put us out of here. I said, "Mom, now you on my tape. You on my tape."
Yeah,
That was the
the
days.
good old days, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But-
Good old days.
I don't miss
Looking
them
back
days.
and saying, we would never think it would last this long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I heard it on radio, when we first heard our record and all that, I was like, happiest guy in the world. But just like when we was on tour, the Public Enemy and Terminator and all of us, we were family.
That's right.
And that's why when
right.
I see the
That's
new
right.
groups that came out, they could be in the same building at the same time. And I always wondered why. If you making money and they're making money, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Right.
So we all are one team. We one family. We was under Rush Productions.
Right.
So we all was there. Public Enemy, Whodini, Curtis Blow, and the Fat Boys came and joined us on the Fresh Fest, and Stetson Sonic. It was so many groups, but it was love on tour.
Yeah.
Everybody showed love.
Most of the
man.
time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
I remember a few, but most of the time, yeah, everybody we hung out together. It was like you said, it was love, man, and that's one thing about our era of hip hop. We did it for the love.
Yes.
We didn't get into it because it's money. You see these rappers making all this. No, it wasn't. Rappers wasn't making money back. We did it out of love, and
You
that,
did
that,
it
that
for
makes
love,
difference.
and it
Yeah.
started coming, but we wasn't getting what they getting now.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
no,
Man, we'd retired a long time ago.
yeah.
But we was getting decent pay, but to keep you above water. But it was just that we were introducing this to the world.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because really, to me, when hip hop started, it was in the streets of New York. So we would go down south and do these shows like St. Louis and stuff like that. Rappers would come back there and try to rap, but when we heard that country sound, we didn't think it could make it because everybody from New York had that flow.
Yeah.
Right.
And we looked at them different with the
It's
flow
different
that they
vibe.
had.
yeah.
It was a
yeah.
totally different vibe. But to me, if you got a good style and you got a good rap, it can go on any beat.
That's right.
Any beat that you want,
That's right.
But you got to have that gift.
And it came along. It was a cultural shock for us from New York. Like I remember, I think the first culture shock for me was when we went to Miami, and to who Uncle
Luke.
Uncle Luke.
Uncle Luke.
So I had never heard Miami bass before.
Yeah.
And we on this concert in Miami, and I don't remember where we were on the concert, but it was like a small arena maybe,
Right.
and
Might have been Miami
They
Night
was-
Center.
they was looking at us. We when we performed. I don't remember the order of the show, but when we performed, they was kind of looking at us like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And then they came on. It was Luke,
Live Crew.
Two Live Crew,
MC Shy D.
69 Boys.
Was it?
Shy D,
Shy D.
and all
Shadi might have been the first.
All of them folks
before Luke.
And we was like, what the? Because we, because you got to remember, this is pre-internet, so
yeah.
Now we're in a different time where anything going, well, not anything going on in the world, but possibly anything going on in the world you can find out about. Back then, if he wasn't from that region, it was new. It was foreign language. It was a culture shock to you. And then I remember going to even DC Go-Go. First time we played in DC, it was kind of the same thing. I mean, we performed. This was back when EU and Rare Essence
and Chuck Brown.
And Chuck Brown was all popping. It was new to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Trouble from the break
Junkyard Band and all that.
But I had never seen a full on go-go concert.
Yeah.
That was another culture shock for me. Now I love go-go. I love Bobby Bays.
To me, I always felt go-go was hip hop.
Go-go is part of hip hop.
When I heard pump it up.
Yeah.
And Let's Get Small. And I was good friends with Tony from Trouble Funk.
Right.
So I was like, yo, man, that's hard. So we did DC. We was in the Capitol Center with them. And he said,
that's where we
Dee,
did.
all you got to do is tell the crowd where y'all from. And I said that they went crazy. I said, you know what, DC? I feel like busting loose. Right. They started doing this. They started going crazy. And then I played Let's Get Small. That was big, but those beats was hard to us.
Beats was hard.
The beats was hard.
Rock the Bells, that's go-go.
Yeah, that's a go-go.
LL Cool J, that's go-go.
And Curtis Blow.
Yep.
Not I Rule the World, the other one.
Is that?
Yes,
I think it is. It is if I Rule the World.
You're right. In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the scratching. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of break beats in the go. Oh, another record I realized was go-go. I didn't know it at the time. AMFM is it AMF? No, it's not that one. I used to consider it disco, but it's go-go. God, what is that song? Anyway, it's an old song that I used to consider disco. And I was listening to it. I was like, this sounds like go-go. And I Googled up the group, and sure enough, it was a go-go band. Wow. Yeah, man.
Ray Essen was good, too.
Yeah. That's a monster go-go group. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your history with the group, how you met the guys, how y'all got together.
I met Jalil at WHBI through Mr. Magic. I used to call every week to Mr. Magic show just to hear hear him announce me on the radio. Right. That was big to hear your name come across the radio. Everybody. Then he wound up calling me a super listener. So I went up there because Sugar Hill had their label. Sylvia Robinson was getting ready to do a tour with all the groups on her label. So I went up there and he said, yo, you mind coming to help us out? So he gave me posters and flyers, and I said, yeah, I'll help out because I wanted to be part of this game. And when I helped him out, I met Jalil in the studio because he was his assistant answering the phone with him. Right. So we connected, exchanged numbers, and one day they wanted to come by the crib and hear me DJ, him and X, and they heard me and then they put me a part of the crew.
Wow.
It was just being at the right place at the right time.
You remember the first club and first show you did with them?
Yeah, we were in Akron, Ohio. I think it was with Africa Bambaataa and GQ.
Wow.
GQ. And I looked and peeked through the curtains and saw all those people. I said, oh, shit. Because we used to play in the small spots, and you seeing this now. It's over 4,000 people, but it was a lot of people.
Right.
So, we had to iron that out. And back then, think about it, using turntables, because you got Serato now. Your record ain't going to jump on you. Yeah. So back then, record jump on you was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it was
and the difference I felt that was great about us, even though we recorded the records in London, we had a chance to make instrumentals.
Right.
A lot of groups ain't come with instrumentals. Notice some will have to rap over their vocals.
Right.
A lot of the rappers, they didn't give them instrumentals, but we had instrumentals. So I looked at it and said that was a blessing. I'll never forget one night the record jumped on me, and I think it was Friends or Big Mouth. No, it must have been Big Mouth because it was the vocals on. That was the only track we had vocals. I took that record off and said, hold on. And I smashed it on stage and put another one on. Crowd just went crazy. John Lewis said, "Yeah, we're live. We're live." Because back in the days, if you use a DAT, you got this. You didn't want to use no DAT.
Yeah.
So, because this is hip hop. It's like being in the parks going live.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what made y'all record the album in London? What made y'all go to London?
That was a record label that signed, Jive Records.
Jive. Okay, that's right.
They signed in a small label. They was going to give Mr. Magic the deal, but he couldn't do it because he signed a contract with a radio station or whatever. So he passed it on to Jalil.
So wasn't a lot of stuff produced by Thomas Dolby?
Yeah, the first album, and all that. Yeah.
Magic's Wand and all that stuff.
Yeah, Magic's Wand.
Magic's Wand. Right.
I found that out later. I didn't know that was him.
And Thomas Dolby was incredible.
Yeah,
Blind Me with Science.
Yes.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
you know what, too, being over there, they had a clean feel and a different feel.
Mm-hmm.
You notice everybody that made the records in the States sound like they made the record in the basement.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all the way clean. It's like
true.
you hear something in it. But when I was like, you hear dun, 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 loud and clear. Somebody driving the car, you can hear way down the block.
Yeah.
So that was our disguise that made us different from everybody else. And not only that, we had original music.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Original music.
Absolutely.
So that's what, and the beats were still hard.
And I was going
And
to get
then
it.
Larry Smith came.
I was getting ready to say
Larry
Larry
Smith.
Smith.
Man, may he rest in peace. That was
Amen.
one of
Larry
the
Smith,
greatest
no doubt.
producers
Yes,
that
sir.
never got the credit that he deserved.
Nope.
He was Quincy Jones of rap.
Yeah.
Because you got to look at it. He made Run DMC sound like Run DMC, and he made Whodini sound like Whodini, and he made Curtis Blow sound like Curtis
That's
Blow,
right.
and the Fat Boys.
Right.
So you look at that and say that was something, man.
Wow.
Let me ask you one more question, right? I know y'all had a big loss with Whodini, losing one of y'all members.
Yes,
And my condolences to your group for that.
thank you.
And will y'all ever consider doing a show again, or?
Well, I talk to Jallo once in a while. I don't think he's ready yet, but I told him the doors will always be open. And consider you could put you in a chair, put a mirror of X up there, hologram, and we can do it. Or grab Dr. Ice or something to come on and do it. As long as he got the vocals, he ready. But I don't know. I told him it's up to him. But you don't want the legacy just to end like that. You want to keep it going because we had hits.
Yes, hits.
Yeah.
People
And
still ask.
the part about it is I really miss X because X was the balance of Jalil. They bounced off each other.
Yeah.
And it was like Jalil was like a rapper, but he's a little off, but he's always on because X will keep him on too. And the first person that ever said that was Gangstar.
Wow.
Guru said that about Jalil. He said, you know what? He's an offbeat rapper, but it sounds good. Yeah, he said that. It was something that he said. But X had that stagemanship, and he had that voice too.
Yeah.
He had that voice. And like looking at us back then, we were the first with dances, first with the R&B songs, and clean cut.
Yep.
UTFO, they used to dance for y'all.
Yes, UTFO. Before UTFO, Dr. Ice and Kango was the first two with us. Then later on, they became UTFO. And then right after that, we had Scratch and Cliff. Scratch moved on to produce Michael Jackson, choreograph Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Remember the Time.
Wow.
That's him doing all that.
Really? Wow.
Scratch, yeah, he choreographed
Scratch.
that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him. He was dancing. I saw him. He came here to Raleigh, and he was dancing for what was it? One of them big time house pop house. The light skinned chick. What's her name?
CeCe Peniston?
CeCe Peniston. I think was dancing for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I used to see Stretch. I didn't go to the garage a lot, but I would go there. And Stretch would be in there with
In
his
the
little
garage?
posse.
Yeah, he was a dancing cat. He
Yeah,
loved to
yeah.
dance. He loved to dance.
Man, I remember going to a Whodini show, and they had finished up, and you were still out there DJing.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like,
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
They tried to pull me off. Remember that?
He kept DJing. They done picked him up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was part
They
of the
had
show.
him- they had him by the
Yeah,
leg.
yeah.
And he still, man.
Yeah. And that was something
I gotta give you a pound for that. You
Yeah,
fucked me
yeah,
up with that, man.
Because we always try to create something
Yeah,
different.
that was dope.
Yeah.
And it's another thing. They never gave me credit for that.
Nope.
You'll never
Yeah,
hear nobody talk about it.
I'll talk
But
about
a lot of people saw it.
Yeah.
But I said, yo, Where's the footage? Somebody got to have it.
Yeah,
but back then, it wasn't a lot of cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
So,
well,
but
they
somebody
didn't have
got the
cell
footage,
phones.
though.
Yeah.
I know they were like, yo.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time. Like I in one of the recent interviews, I talked about the rap shows today. They're disappointing because we put our. I feel like we put our all into them.
Yes.
We try to be innovative. Like you grabbing you and you up in the air, they DJ and stuff. But like now it's rare to find a DJ on the stage.
Yeah.
You know,
They will push a button. They might push a button.
Yeah, it's like it's all about the business now. It's like, it's me. It's just me. I'm rapping. We don't, you know, it's like it's not the same, man.
No,
it's just
because
not the same.
you know when you got hip hop, the elements could be the dances, but you gotta have that DJ.
Yeah.
You know, you sit back and for me and Terminator, I could speak for us. We was always visual where we were doing something.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of time DJs would just be standing there.
Yeah.
And not doing anything and don't get a shine. Like they said, Terminator X naming the record. They said, I'm naming the record, which was good. That gave us a shine.
Right.
So, you know, people couldn't wait. They said, yo, and they'll tell you after the show. I've seen that. Never forget, did Japan with Run DMC and them. And the first time we go to Japan, I think the Beastie Boys with us too. And so I think Run whispered that, yo, we got to go off tonight. So told Jay to go off. I heard that. So I'm waiting. I said, yo, told my translator, go get me a dozen chopsticks. He said, for what? I said, just go do it. He wouldn't did it, came back. And he didn't know what I was going to do. I ain't say nothing. Showtime came. I scratched with my mouth. I scratched with a sneaker. So I had chopsticks. I put rubber bands on the end. And after Jallo said he scratched with his mouth, he scratched with his sneakers, now he's going to use chopsticks. And he was looking like this. So I said, pick it. I heard Herbie Hancock. Pick it, boom. Pick it, boom. Pick it, boom. And I threw the chopsticks in the air. And they said, Grandmaster! That was the highlight. That was the highlight, man. Oh, man.
That's crazy, man. Just coming up with the stuff for the shows, man.
You had to be creative. And you know it looks good when you see a DJ gets to shine. Because you up there too, you want that shine too. Yeah. Oh, and you hear the crowd, you love it. Oh man. Yeah, man.
Facts.
And being back in New York, I always remember you like you was like one of the main DJs that always went out. Like I remember when Red was DJing, you would always show up with Red. Yeah. Me and you be talking. I remember you used to show up at some of Reggie World's parties.
Yeah.
Lady D, well, I remember you coming out all the time.
The best thing about that is you got to be seen and less heard. If you're not in the limelight, you're in people's faces, so they're talking, they see you.
Yeah.
So if you're not out there, and it's just like if you don't have a record out, you want people to see you.
Yeah.
So you got to mix and mingle with that crowd. But, you know, not saying the stuff that's out here now, but, you know, it's always good to go to support.
Yeah, you always support.
Yeah, you support because we helped build this game called hip-hop.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, never feel like you left out. We ain't left out. Without us, it's no y'all.
Yeah.
So in order to get to the order to have a beginning, it's always going to have an end. So you start off, you know, we came in at the right time.
Right.
I really mean that we crossed over that people could understand what we were talking about. And we made party songs. Yeah. And it brought people together. Friends, how many of us have them? One Love, they was meaning songs.
So let me ask you one more thing. I always ask this, right? To the time when we was coming up, our music today is a classic. You think the people that are making music today, their music will be classic or like your music was today?
Yeah, first of all, we'll give a shout out to Jallo and XC, rest in peace. I would look at it like this. They might be classics. This new stuff might be classics for their generation. But as far as for us, I don't really feel. Some records grab you. You know, sometimes when you hear some hot song, the beat could be great, but the lyrics just took it away. But sometimes if you hear it enough and they force it on you enough, you'll start humming that song.
Right.
You'll start humming that song. But it'll be classics for their era. I don't know about for us, you know.
Yeah,
because a lot of times I don't really listen to radio because every 10 songs is the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I always said this. There's millions of records you could play. Why do you come on the air and say old school? You're not going back. You're going back to the '90s. You're not going all the way back.
Yeah.
There's millions of records that you can play.
Yeah.
And these kids, the reason why they're making this stuff, they don't know that music. They don't, for you to get to where you want to be, you got to know your history.
Yeah.
You got to go back and study who came this, who came that. That's why the blessing that I take my hat off to is Don Cornelius. He saved this music industry when he came putting us on Soul Train. Whoever think rap will be on Soul Train?
Right.
And a lot of people got discovered on Soul Train, just like when we did Arsenio Hall. That was our blessing.
Right.
Arsenio Hall had the hottest night show ever.
Yeah.
I remember seeing y'all on that show.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. We traveled, and then for us to be that young Terminator and travel the world.
That's right.
We traveled the world.
Yep.
We didn't have to go in the military to do this.
Yep.
We did this on hip hop. A lot of
Yep.
people didn't believe it. I remember Nona Hendrix said it one day. We was on a plane. We was going to Japan. She said, "Oh, you one of those rappers? It's not gonna last."
Yeah.
I just looked at her. Next thing you know, I saw her at the music awards. She said, "I'm sorry I said that." You see, you don't never know.
Yeah.
What was the favorite country you think you visited by far?
One of my favorites was Italy, Frankfurt. See, we had to go around that wall before they tore that wall down.
Yep.
The German
Yep.
soldiers came on our bus with M16s.
Yep.
Passports, and they looked like Hogan heroes. They had the tower, and the bus had to go around. And I remember doing the east part of Germany, and they wanted to get to the other side. But they were going to try to sneak on our bus. We was like, no, you ain't doing that. You ain't doing that. But, I mean, they didn't know.
We saw so much.
To hear them talk that language and knowing hip-hop and doing like this,
Wow.
that was something. It was something new to them. But this, when I knew it was worldwide, going to see. So it held the blessing.
Yeah, man. We had so many unique experiences being in the era we was in because I remember, you asked what was the favorite country you've been to. Like I said, this is pre-internet. I remember going to Italy and we were playing in an arena, and I'm a type when I do I'll do sound check and I'll hang out at the the arena, and I'll walk around in the audience before the show starts. And I remember walking out through one of the gates, where the basketball players come out and that kind of stuff. But mind you, this is when the crowd's just coming in, so it's nothing going on. And I'm walking out and I hear these young Italian kids, Terminator, and it just blew me away. Like, how do they know me? Because it just blew me away. It blew me away. It was something. It was something to experience.
Yeah, that's definitely the truth. Because
Yeah.
I remember being over there and said, "Grandmaster, it's strange the way they do the scratch."
That was the days.
Yeah, that was the great days, man.
Yeah, man.
So
Who would, like they said, who would think rap would go that far?
Yeah.
We thought it was just going to stay in the New York area. We was happy to play in New York.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Imagine doing 3 clubs in one night.
Yeah.
I remember being in the Fun House with Madonna and all them just hanging out with
Yeah, the
no
Fun
bodyguards, nothing.
remember the clown with DJ
And
booth?
remember it was the Fun House. It was Danceteria. It was Red Parrot, Union Square, Palladium.
Latin
Oh my
quarters,
God, Latin Quarter.
Roseland.
Palladium was incredible.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Palladium was crazy.
I remember
Wow.
being there with Beverly Johnson, the supermodel, Mike Tyson, and Grace Jones. And Mike Tyson tried to smack her on the butt. She said, "Michael." I said, "What?"
Your mic was off the chain.
Yeah, he was wild. He was
off
a
the
wild
chain.
guy.
He was
Wow,
wild.
man.
I remember hitting Jolly. We was in Vegas, I think it was. And Tyson and Mike came to the show, and he playing around.
Yeah, he like
He punched
punching her.
Jolly. He was like, "Ooh." Jolly was
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
Yo, Mike was crazy. He's a crazy
Yeah.
guy. But yeah, fun though, man. Those were days.
That was the days.
Oh
Absolutely.
man.
So another thing I want to ask you, what advice will you give the youth of today that's coming into the music business today, and those who aspire to want to become DJs? Like, what will you inspire them to do and explain to them? Like,
Well, I feel like be yourself. Learn from the people that came before you, and watch everybody. You can't really learn off the music that's here today. You got to go back to the classics and digging in the crates and all that. Just
Right.
learn about Earth, Wind and Fire. Learn about Billy Joe. Learn about the group Chicago, Blood, Sweat and Tears. Who else? Average White Band and War. Groups like War, the Jackson 5. All of those groups that came, they made great music. But listen to their music. That can get you creative.
Right.
You know, because you listen to today's music, you know, you might hear it, but it comes from something. A lot of them are sampled anyway.
Right.
But you got to go back. You got to go back to the 70s and the 60s with some of the best music.
Yes.
You know.
I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, what was I was going to ask you about? You know, since we all DJs,
Yeah.
do you miss crates at all? Vinyl?
Hell
I know you
no.
don't miss carrying that shit.
Let me tell you something. I was so-
He said,
angry
hell
because
no.
I had so much records, man. Y'all, when I tell you the story, y'all gonna be mad. My mother had, when we all moved out the house, my mother was still there. She's still there. She's 97, but she had
God
raised,
bless.
she had raised some foster kids, and I was wondering why she wanted to do it, but she just felt that's her heart.
Right.
So she had like 4 of them on there. One day, I was living in Miami at the time. She told them I had stacks up high of records. She told them to throw it out.
Oh my God.
They call me. Somebody calls me and go, Drew, your mother and them throwing records out. There's people all in the incinerator. I said, what do you mean? And I'm like, Ma, you crazy? Do you know how much money that's worth? I had doubles and triples.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I only got half of them now. I'm like, Mom. But going back to the crates, you get on the plane and you had to worry about if you couldn't put it under the plane, so you had to have the record cases, and you only could bring a certain amount. So imagine now going on a plane with crates. They'll be digging in there, right under that plane. They'll be digging, and baggage claim they'll be taking your stuff.
Yeah.
Bad enough, they used to throw out turntables, and sometimes you come down, the case be all
They'll bust
you
it
be like,
up.
yo, what happened, man? Yo, and nobody knows nothing.
Nobody knows.
But
nothing.
when they came with Serato, they asked me that in an interview one day, and I told them, let me tell you something. That was the best thing that could ever happen, because you got millions of records,
Yeah.
and you can get to them at your fingertips,
Mm-hmm.
and you ain't got to work it. But one thing about us, when we had crates, we knew where every record was
Where
at.
everything was at.
Ain't that something?
That's a fact.
That we knew we had it lined up.
Yeah.
You could have. Let me tell you something. You could have 15 crates. You knew exactly what crate that record was in.
And you know
You
what?
knew exactly
you
what
had it
crate that
lined. We
record's
didn't
in.
look at
Yeah.
no beat per minute.
Yeah.
Nah.
We knew where everything
No,
was. And then another thing was,
Yeah.
you didn't have to worry about blending, because when hip hop came, you just dropped the song. Whatever it was, they gonna go. Apache, Dance to the Jones Beat was my all-time classic.
Right.
It's just that when you threw that on, they would go crazy, and it'd be dun 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 dun. And my other favorite was Trans-Europe Express.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. I was like, yo,
Let
and
me tell you
then,
something. Have you ever seen Trent? Have you ever seen Kraftwerk live?
no.
Man, real quick. I don't mean to change the subject, but I was blessed to see them live in London. We was on tour. U2, salute to Bono and the fellas. They brought us on tour. They didn't even have to bring us. They anyway. Make a long story short, we opened up for U2, and we did a concert in London. It was some kind of benefit concert. I don't know what. But Kraftwerk was on the show, and I lost my mind. I was like, I sat. I bogart my way in the middle, in the front middle of the crowd, and I sat there the whole show just watching. It's back when they still had the robots.
Yeah.
They still had the
Did
robots.
they do
and
that? We are the robots.
man, I was like, man, Kraftwerk.
Yeah. Kraftwerk,
man.
They was
Oh my
incredible.
God.
They were before their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They was before their time. And you had Devo. You had the Clash.
Yes.
When we were touring, the Clash were torn behind us. Hall & Notes were torn.
Wow.
So it being in Europe, and Fab Five Freddy was out there then.
Wow.
This was like '83. Yeah, Fab Five Freddy was out there running with the Clash.
Yeah, Fat Five Freddy, a big part of the hip hop. I mean, you know some of the stories. I'm not gonna go into.
Remember Change the Beat. Remember Change
Yeah.
the Beat.
Yeah, I like both sides. I like the French side.
Yeah.
I think it had the female on it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Debbie Harris came out.
He brought Deborah Harry to hip hop to I think to see Flash. That's why Fab Freddy the DJ Flash is fast. Flash is fast. Yep.
Taking it back.
That was something, man. And you think about now, the DJs now, these guys out here don't even know us. They don't even know us. But the real ones that know hip hop, they know you. But being in Europe and even Japan, they had books on us that we didn't even know we was in.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, how you know they got the books? Look.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, they had better pictures than us.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny? X played on Saturday, right? When you did that gig Saturday, right? And like, I had probably about a good 15 people come up to me, yo. And it's funny because X was DJing, X was ain't really paying no mind, you know, he's doing his thing. About 15 people, these was older people.
Yeah.
And what's so sad, no disrespect to our people, but it's crazy. You get one black person come and say, yo, is that Terminator X? That really Terminator X from public? But then you got 14, 15 white folks who recognized them. We even had an Italian dude, he came from Italy. He said, that's Terminator X. I said, yeah, sure is. Another white dude came up to me, he said, no. With a Chinese lady. He come up to me, nah, that can't be X. He said, sir, come here, can I ask you something? Is that the imitator or is that the... I said, no, that's the real public. He said, can I go home and go get all my albums from Public Enemy so he could... I said, you can do as you want before 5 o'clock. If we here. Remember, he said he wanted to go home. But it's funny, like, you know, like our own people, you know, like...
those people, like in Europe, they know us better than the people in the States.
Yeah,
they study that stuff.
Like, they don't, like, they don't give us, like, that recognition. And it's funny, like, me and X be talking, like, you go and do a party, but they never come and support it. But then when the club is no longer there, like we did a spot right here in Durham one time. It was Mike, me, and X, and Bobby. We did a spot. Like, you know, we trying to help the brother Bill because he out and up a beer store or something. Now his shop is closed. Why? Nobody was supporting him. And it's funny, but then you go around the block, all the white clubs. You know, they support each other. Like, why can't we support each other?
That's the other
you know, you got good
if
DJs.
They say
like,
they love hip hop, but like they said, but when I seen it almost going downhill, I was like, there's no support.
There's no support.
There's no support because look, they don't let rock and roll die.
Yeah.
They're gonna raise their kids into it. This is, you got to see these guys. These guys like Kiss and Queen, all those groups. They bring their kids. They raise Led Zeppelin, all that. They raise their kids into it.
And unfortunately, it's not just hip hop. It's R&B.
Yeah,
Let me give you an example. Like SOS Band, a lot of the old
Atlantic
Star,
Midnight Star.
You can't put them in no arena.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta go.
Now they can go overseas and do big shows.
Oh, they do big, like Al Green.
We don't we it's sad in the States we don't value. I don't know. Some people say we're spoiled.
Legends.
We don't value our music history.
Yeah.
We won't come out and support, and I don't understand that. But overseas, well, they happy to.
They love soul music over there. Yeah. But like you're right, because sometimes they even try to lower the price, like $40, $50 for maybe 2 shows or something. But for that, you should pay top dollar. They legends. Pay for it.
Yeah,
because you know you got Lady Gaga and them charging crazy.
Yeah, we don't celebrate.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just
like even the big groups. Let's give you a good example. Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of the most incredible black groups of all time.
Yes.
If they do a show in the States, can they do arenas? Absolutely. But guess who's going to be in the crowd?
White folk.
That's right.
It's going to be 90% white folk.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
right. We don't come out. I mean,
and then those who come out, they want to get in there for free. Yo, you think you got me? I'm like, yo, you know, like these people got to get paid. You know, it's not about maybe you could let 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, because who else like the average white man? A lot of those old groups are coming back, and sometimes you got one that's making like them. They do imitation of them. You know, it's like who else is running around? I seen this other group acting like Earth, Wind, and Fire too, and they wasn't them. And
wow,
who else?
Cover band.
Yeah, so many. I remember when I first came out. I remember Shannon. I remember 3 different Shannons touring. There were 3 different Shannons. You didn't know because nobody really saw her.
Let the music play?
Yeah, nobody really knew who she was.
Wow.
There were a lot of groups came in. They were studio groups, like Luther Vandross. He come from the group Change.
Yeah.
That was a studio group, and then he just broke out, and came out big.
Yeah.
I just believe, man, we support each other more.
Yes.
We could keep growing, but if we ain't supporting each other, how we ever gonna grow? Everybody else around us grows. Jews grow.
That's right. That's right.
The Indian people, they grow. White folks, every group. But then we always, but
It's
they
too
don't
much
let
to
us
get
do
in.
nothing.
Yeah.
But we not doing it for ourselves. Like we supposed to support. Like we got this show here, and we want to keep everything positive. Like we're not talking bad about no rappers.
No.
All we want to do is talk good about others. You know how we started, how the things is going. Like we don't want no negativity in the show. So if you think we negative, don't come in our show.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because not only that, we don't come from that era.
Yeah.
And you remember back in the days, you was a kid, your mother said, you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all.
Don't say nothing at all.
So you look at now, we need more podcasts like this because we got to uplift one another. You know, and you wonder why the kids are doing what they're doing because they wasn't taught. You got young ladies having babies at a young age. So if you don't got that male in that house, you know, but I could say this, I thank God so much the way we came up. It took a village to raise us.
Yeah.
You done something wrong in that neighborhood, your neighbor will tell your mother.
Tell
take
you
you to
behind
your
up.
mother.
Yeah.
And
Tell
they
you
got the
behind
right to do what they got to do. And like your teachers too back in the day.
Yeah.
You knew my brothers and them had the same teacher I had when I was in public school. So they all knew the family. So plus you didn't want to embarrass your family.
Yeah.
All your mother and father had
Yeah.
to do was look at you. And you was like, I ain't going home to that.
Yep. And the neighbor from down the street will grab you by the ear.
Yeah.
Pull you down the street.
Yeah, and another thing was, you know what? Sometimes you got people that maybe didn't get along. You might have had a fight, but your parents got together and y'all go shake each other.
Yeah,
hand.
you dust yourself.
You go to
off,
somebody's house today, see what they
Oh,
go. You come back to my house again. See,
Yep.
it's not
It's
good.
sad. It's sad.
We got to
It's
bring
sad.
it back to it. You know,
Yeah.
we all God's children,
That's right.
so we got to respect
Amen.
one another. All they get it, we got to give it.
That's right.
So now it starts now. We got to get back in the neighborhoods. They got to come out of the churches, whatever it does. You got to give these kids something. I thank God because we had the PAL, we had the Boys Club, but we had the community that got us into softball and basketball. We was happy to get a T-shirt with a number and the name of your team.
Yep.
So we were playing together, and we played the PAL. We played against different boroughs, but that brought friendship.
You know, that's what breakdancing was about.
Yeah,
You
that's
see them breakdancing and fighting, but that was all a
Do it again,
breakdance.
man. Do that
You
move
know,
again.
that all that crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny because even back then, when people, I remember like in the block where I was at, where I lived at, where I was from, Linden. Like if somebody didn't have their rent money, we'll do like a little block party or a house party, and whatever you collect at the door, you will give it to that person so they could pay their bill, pay their rent. So everybody
that's how it
looked out.
was.
You don't do that now. Now they don't care. Like, you know, everybody want to do this GoFundMe. They scheming, taking them from there, giving the people the money.
The difference now too in New York, the prices. Remember back in the day, somebody could have a 3-bedroom, might have been $500 a month.
500.
Now they want
$3,750,
$2,500 or it might be
$3,750.
$3,000 now.
Yeah.
So they taking the ones that been there for years, they moving them out of there
Yeah,
and bringing them yuppies in there.
but it's
That's how it's going.
So
All right, man. So we're gonna wrap this up, but before we go, give us one more good Public Enemy Terminator X story that you remember from back in the day, touring and just on the road, just some anything, some crazy shit,
Flavor
whatever.
Flav, we was in Hawaii.
Here we go.
We was in the hotel, and one of the signs on the door said "Presidential Suite." And Flavor Flav knocked on the door, and he ain't supposed to knock on it. He says, "The lady," I said, "What do you want?" He said, "I want to see what it looks like in there." He said, so he looked, and the lady said, "Oh no, close the door." Next thing you know, we had mopeds. We was riding mopeds. We left without Flavor. Next thing you know, they were telling us can't be. It was a bunch of they said you can't ride fast on the street. You got to ride at kind of mid tempo or whatever. Next thing you know, we had his Flavor Flav with polka dot drawers on and no shirt. Yeah, boy. Oh my God, it was the funniest.
Yeah, you can't tell Flavor not what to do.
No,
He's not to do
man.
something. He gonna do it on steroids.
And I remember too, we was in Kansas City, Kansas, and we were in a raft. They had the biggest roller coaster, I think, in the world, but we went in a raft on the water ride. My Flavor turned the inner tube over. And we up in the top. So I'm thinking about the next group of people who's coming behind us. Now we gonna get knocked down. And we trying to turn the boat over. He over there laughing. Man, we turned the boat back over, got back in, and made it back down just in time. Oh, he was funny. And then the other story was going to the Waffle House. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We go in there. You know how they look kind of crazy in there. They're cooked. And the waiter, lady didn't have no teeth in her mouth. And Flavor came in there and said, "Yeah, boy, give me a bowl of niggas and make sure you hold the ketchup." Never forget that.
All right, man. Yeah. Once again, Terminator Xperience podcast. Y'all give it up for the one and only Grandmaster Dee. Let us know how they can reach you on social media, all that good stuff. Any information for bookings, whatever, man. Just throw it out.
Grandmaster Dee, Facebook, Grandmaster Dee, Instagram, GMD Whodini at yahoo.com.
There it is. Once again, give it up.
All right, my brother.
Grandmaster Dee.
The legendary.
Not my
Terminator Xperience podcast. We are out of here.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, my man. We out. Peace.
That's gonna do it for this episode of the Terminator Xperience podcast, hosted by DJ DVS, Minor, and the legendary Terminator X. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and leave a review, and tap in with us on social media for clips, updates, and behind the scenes. Until next time, keep the culture first, keep the sound heavy, and keep it locked right here.